Hello, it's Northwest Trains. I'm Tom. I'm back after 4 days in the Isle of Man for a summer holiday. Had a great time, fantastic place. If you see my previous videos, you'll see the different railways I went to visit and stuff, and just as a general place in itself, brilliant. I can't wait to go back. It's been a long time since I've been there, so just thought I'd put that out. But coming home, I had a message from Mike at Carnforth Models to say that the Rapido trains line had turned up, so here we are. I also got my Mercurial scale nuclear flask wagons as well, so we'll take a look at them on another video. But for now, it's down to the Liverpool and Manchester Railways line. So I'll just show you which version I got. I've got the 1980s condition, sound fitted. So I gave Rapido another chance. The Hunslet got sent back twice, and it was just nothing but a nightmare, to be honest. It's mentioned it in previous videos. It ran intermittently when I got it. I couldn't run it in properly. It kept on cutting out on straight and level track. Just wouldn't run well at all, really. The sound kept on cutting out as well. Sent it back once, and to be fair, they sent it back. Well, they sent it back about 3 or 4 weeks later, and it was even worse. And to make it even worse was the saddle tank had scratches and damaged paint on it, marks on it. So again, I had to get sent back, and so I gave up on it then, basically. But this is from a different factory apparently, and I already had it on pre-order, as well as the pannier tank that's due out next, I think. So let's hope it does well. And the reason why it's out of the box now is when I went to pick it up in Carnforth Models, we had a little play of it on the test track in the shop, and it worked perfectly. So you know, that's a good start. So anyway, I didn't want to waste time getting it out the box either. Anyway, so this is what we get with it. Got a little instruction manual. So you get prototype history. As you can see, the Loco was completed in 1837. It had a twin engine called Tiger, I think it was. Hornby have actually produced that model. I don't know how accurate it is, or whether it's just a copy of Lion. Now, I wanted this version because this is how it is now, I think, and I didn't particularly like the look of the Tifffield Thunderbolt set. It's great if you're into the film or just as a collector's piece, but for me personally, I wanted the Loco as it's preserved, if it, you know, the small chance it may run again. So we got unboxing the model, which I've already done. It was well packaged. Just have a quick look. The usual ice cube stuff, loads of foam around it, so it's well protected. Got a little bag of details there. Not sure what they are yet, but we'll probably come back to that later. I don't tend to touch stuff like that, to be honest, because I'm forever finding bits of Loco detail on the layout when I'm cleaning up. Anyway, so let's get rid of the box. Now, so to attach the Loco and tender, in fact, we'll just have a little look at it now. And because the tender's so small, or for a small tender, it's pretty weighty. You see, you've got the old-fashioned style chain link couplings. I'm going to try them with me Mercurial scale children wagons, actually, see if they'll work. Got a separately fitted handrail here. It just springs quality at you, the look of it. It looks, you know, the tender, I think, is it metal? It looks like metal. Just the finish on it looks really good. And we've got the flap folds down here for the locomotive crew. The coal though doesn't look too bad either. It's you can see the lever there, separately fitted part. The old-fashioned style, well, non-existent buffers, you might say. And so we've got the speaker in there, and we've got the connection to the Loco. So I presume there's pickups on all the wheels, which will definitely help. Let's just put it on there. There's definitely something metal in there because of the weight of it. The tender itself might actually be metal, I think, looking at it. There's a lot of weight on it. Now, let's just pick this up. and that's a die cast body straight away. You can feel the weight. This Loco is really heavy for the size of it. So you say very basic underneath, but all the like the rods and the detail here look amazing. I think it'll pull a fair amount of weight compared to the Hornby rocket anyway. You see very basic there, but I'm sure it was in real life as well. Let's just try and get it zooming in. You see all the separately fitted parts there, and they look like metal as well. They don't look plasticky. Really, really nice finish. The big dome funnel there. Quite like the colour of it as well. The dark green goes quite nice with the sort of copper or brass effect. Just so simplistic, this Loco, but also looks good at the same time. That also almost looks like timber, like a timber boiler with the colour of it. Right, so we got it on the track now, preferably without breaking it. I think this will look good on my little museum micro layout as well, if it runs really well at slow speeds. Already made a mess of that. Now the instructions, I'll move the camera actually for this bit. Right, so for coupling up, it just says to sort of roughly get the coaching wagon together. This bit sort of pulls to one side, and it just says to push the tender into it. There we go, I think that's it. Job done. And then this can fold down. For obviously we get any driver and fireman, which hopefully I'll get some from Modeloo at some point. Now let's have a look at the sounds. Let me just skip to the right page. You've got a fair bit of information about this Loco as well. Okay, we've got quite a basic function list. So 1 for sound on and off, 2 whistle. Let's have a look now. In fact, I just put that there again for you, so I knocked the camera. So you want to quickly just pause that so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so sound on. Got 2 for whistle. That sounds pretty decent. 3 coal shoveling. Again, for the size of the Loco, the speaker seems pretty decent on it. So we got 4 safety valve. 5 water refill. 6 coupler clank. 7 got disable brake squeal. That might only work when the Loco's moving, but let's try it. Let's just try moving the Loco. Oh, it's cut out. Right, well that's a little bit disappointing because that's what the Hunslet was doing. Let's just, I haven't cleaned the track to be honest actually, so I'm not going to be too cruel on it yet. So we'll go back to number 7. So we got 8, which is the interesting one. We have a lion's roar. Not something you hear very often, but a bit different. Right, let's just try it then on a crawl going forwards. No, I think what I'll have to do is give it a run in on the heritage line first, and then we can give it a good, hopefully give it a good review. Right, so speed step 2, nothing. There we go, speed step 3, we've got a bit of movement, and then we stalled. Right, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just quickly get the track rubber out and the hoover, give this strip of track a clean just to make sure it's not that, and then we'll try it again. Okay, I stopped the last bit of the video to give the Loco a run in, and it hasn't gone well, to be honest. Same as the Hunslet, but in a different way. This Loco hasn't actually stalled, but it doesn't like second radius curves. So we come over the point here. Just about done it there. Even in reverse, the rear pony truck wheel, sorry about the camera, derails. So come over here. It derailed, as you could see in the clip previously, and even worse, it trips the layout. So I'll just set another Loco off. I even took them out in case they were in the way, but it doesn't seem to be the case. The rest of the layout is fine. Even at the other end where the track was a bit warped in the heat that we had. But yeah, same problem as the Dapple Manor. Doesn't like set track points. So if you've got second radius curves, you're knackered basically. Now I'm going to try running it now on the inner track. See if that makes any difference. So we'll see that in a sec. Okay, I've reset the points to the inside. Let's just see how it gets on now. Did actually make it over that curve that time. And it's just about made it over there, I think. I'm a bit gutted actually, because I thought a small Loco like this wouldn't have a problem with second radius. I really need to get rid of these set track points, really, don't I? Yeah, no, same problem again. Yeah. So the line model is no good for the heritage line, which is what I would have lived on, purely for this section here. Okay, we'll see it coming around now. This was the bit I was actually worried about, because this is where the track had warped a little bit. You can see it steps up a little bit here, but it seems fine over the straight. Just about. Let's see what it's like reversing up these points here. Okay, we're going to try it on a short streamline point, which obviously not as sharp as a set track point. Let's see what it's like on here now. Be disappointed if it doesn't run on these. Nope, seems okay. Take it round here. Have to just swing across here now. Again, sorry about the camera. Just thought better to show it all together than try and do it bit by bit with a tripod. Okay, I've come up with a partial solution to it derailing. I thought the Manor class works one way without derailing, so I thought I'll try the line the other way round, and sure enough it just about does it. It's not really comfortable on the set track points, so if your layout evolves around set track points, then I wouldn't bother getting this Loco, to be honest. So the only bit it struggles on now is where this second radius standard curve meets a slightly wider radius flexi track. For some reason it doesn't like this bend at all. I've just done it, well, it's just done it then. The only other problem I found is I've put two of these coaches on. Now I know this Loco will be capable of pulling a heavier load than this, because it doesn't struggle with these two coaches at all, but even with just the two coaches on, sorry, I'll just move over, what I found is that when we go up a slight incline, the weight of the coaches are actually pulling the tender separate from the Loco, so there isn't a very tight connection there. Now it does state in the instructions that it's very delicate and you got to be careful with it, which I was, but at the same time, you know, it should be a tight enough connection that it can actually pull a load behind it. So I wouldn't pull any more than, say, these two coaches or a couple of wagons, when in reality this Loco could probably haul two Mark 1 coaches. I think wouldn't be a problem. or 4 of these coaches, but the connection between the tender and the loco is very sensitive, and as soon as it comes apart, even though the sounds still work on the loco, it'll stall and it won't move. That's what I've found. So yeah, bit of a shame really, but at least I can run it now anyway. And as I keep going on about, the long-term plan is to get rid of the set track points. So we'll just have to see. But as you can see, overall it's a very smooth runner, and the detail is amazing. The paintwork looks really good, and even the parts that aren't metal do look like metal. So mixed feelings really, to be honest. Let's just go back over here. Now the Hornby Rocket, nice detailed model, made out of plastic, a lot lighter, so it can't pull very much, but it runs over pretty much any track that you throw at it, like most Hornby models. So it's done that okay again there, which is good. So we'll just have to see how it goes, but I'm going to give it a little run on the museum layout and hopefully run some older rolling stock with it. Just take it back over here. This is the bit that the struggle's on now, but it's done it, so that's good. So yeah, we'll do a few more little running shots of it with the sound on, and finish the video. Before I give the Loco one last little roar. Right, so what do I think? Now, appearance wise, the level of detail, the paint application, livery, everything, I've got to say, it's, for me, it's a 10 out of 10. I'm obviously not comparing it to the real thing, but it looks pretty close to me. Now, again, running quality wise, it's very smooth. It's runs at really low speeds. The only negative there is the fact that the tender connection between the Loco and the tender here, although it's a nice idea where it plugs together, and the speakers in the tender, and provide, so it's basically all-wheel pickup. You'd think there wouldn't be any problems. When I stopped the Loco a couple of times at the station directly onto the point, the sound does cut out when the Loco is stopped, or very slow speeds. So if you've got electrofrog points, that's not a problem, I don't think. So a little slight issue there. I do think that all small Locos, if possible, should have a stay alive unit fitted, because it does half improve the running quality. It's nice and weighty, so potentially the Loco can carry a fair bit of weight, but again, the tender and Loco connection prevents you from pulling anything substantial, in my opinion, again, because you're putting strain between the joint between the Loco and the tender. Now, if the Loco is running in reverse, if you could get some sort of coupling, there's no NEM pocket in the front of the Loco. It does state in the instructions that they didn't want to spoil the look of the Loco by adding one, so that's fair enough. So if you use the traditional chain link coupling and run the Loco in reverse, you could probably pull a much bigger train. It's a nice bit of weight to it, but again, on my layout, I know there's places where the board isn't perfect. There's a few little imperfections where the track dips, and the tender's not quite heavy enough to take that, so it does derail sometimes in reverse. On the set track points, when we had the Loco set the other direction, so I've actually turned the Loco around, like I mentioned before. It works going one way, but like the Dapol Manor class, if you've seen that video, it will derail one way, but it'll go one way, so at least that's something anyway. Like I say, the long-term plan is to get rid of the set track points. It could be a long time yet. I might just have to rip them up anyway, because every new small detailed Loco from the likes of Rapido or someone else, Dapol, they do seem to struggle on second radius now, so might be sooner than you think. But overall, it's in my opinion 100 times better than the Hunslet. The Hunslet looked good, but the running quality was appalling, to be honest, in my opinion again. And I know you could get a stay alive unit to maybe improve it, but for a ready to run model, it should run out the box. I gave it a good running in, and it was, like I say, the trouble with running it in was the fact that it derailed on every set track point. But once I established, I could run it one way but not the other, I was able to run it in properly. Again, in reverse, it would still derail no matter which way around you have the Loco on some of the set track points. Tried taking the DC clips out, that didn't make any difference, so I put them back in. So overall, it's a bit mixed. It's certainly an improvement to the Hunslet, but it's not perfect. I'd be interested to know what other people think of the tender and Loco connection. Now, I was careful putting it together. I know Mike in the shop would have took care in doing it when we tested it on the track there, and it was fine. But like I say, the more drag you have on this tender, or the more the tender's pulling backwards, the more it affects that connection. There was a couple of occasions where I've actually gently had to push the two back together again, where they've slightly come apart. Again, going up a slight incline on the layout, and I do mean a very slight incline. So I'd be interested to hear other people's thoughts on them if they've got one, and please let me know in the comments what you think. Is it just my layout again, or is the Loco not perfect. I did check through the instruction book and the box itself. There's no mention of of what minimum radius there is for the Loco, which is unusual, as most manufacturers do state a minimum radius. So I would have thought a Loco this small would have been alright for first radius, but obviously not. It might just be the points. The curve's probably fine. So again, yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, found it interesting. I'm gonna hopefully run this on my little up and down museum layout, and hopefully a bit more suitable to that, and we'll hopefully find some more older rolling stock to run with. So thank you for staying and watching, and keep an eye out for the next video. Bye for now.